right. Well, once again, disappointing everybody when you hear that theme song and you don't get to see Major Passons. It is me, Sean Rochester, here today. Riding solo. We didn't have anybody else available in this afternoon block. So going to jump in. Today is a big day of sports equinox. We're going to talk about that later. There's a contest going on Better Edge. But we're going to talk prize picks first. Monday Night Football, looking ahead. Giants, Steelers, only one game tonight, last game of week 8. The Giants are favored by 6. Over under has moved a little bit, I believe. 36.5. I believe it was 37.5 yesterday. So it's ticking down. I agree with that tick down. But looking at props, obviously you can do this on Prize Picks. Use the code 5. The code is down at the bottom of our screen. Get yourself $50 when you place a $5 lineup. I think it is going to be a low-scoring game. I do have the under 37.5. I've done some tiering under 30.5 and under 2. What do I have? 23.5 at 6-1. So I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. You have a Steelers defense that's very, very good, a well-coached team, but not an offensive juggernaut. I know Russell Wilson looked good last week. I just don't think that's going to sustain. The Giants, they're kind of one of those weird teams that on any given week, they can look good. Obviously, Malik Neighbors is back out there, but I just don't also think that they're going to have a huge night tonight. I think it's going to be low-scoring. And honestly, I think the Giants keep it close. I do have the Giants +6 in this, but I would not be surprised if the Steelers do take care of business and get the win. So, thinking about spread versus money line there. In terms of props for tonight's football game, I do have Darius Slayton over 2.5 receptions. Malik Neighbors over 21.5 longest reception. Obviously, he's very talented. Steelers have a good defense, but I think he breaks a big one. And then Devin Singletary, running back for the Giants, I have him under 1.5 receptions. So kind of going over on the Slayton, going under on the Singletary. And then my last one for this one is Minkah Fitzpatrick under 6.5 tackles and assists. So you can use those for your prize picks. One last one on this game, Giants team total over 14.5. So kind of threading the needle there a little bit. I do think it's a competitive game in terms of what I'm playing with the Giants side, but I do think overall it's going to be a low-scoring game when you're talking Steelers and Giants. There's a whole NBA slate tonight. I'm going to run through my plays for that too. Obviously, if you're not playing it on Prize Picks, you can also go to Better Edge. Use the code 5RSN. Get yourself $20 when you sign up. We're going to talk about our competition later in the show, but there is a full slate tonight as a sports equinox. So you have MLB, you have NHL, you have NBA, you have NFL. It's one of the few days of the year that actually happens. So starting, first of all, Miami Heat tonight. They are playing against the Detroit Pistons, the winless Detroit Pistons, and I'm going back to the well. I'm not giving up after 2 games. Don't burn me again, Bam. Bam over a half, a 3-point made. Just make a 3. Take a 3, Bam. Please take a 3, Bam, and make a 3. That's +120 most places. I also have as his defensive counterpart in the Knicks versus Cavs game, Evan Mobley making a 3. That's +140. I'm going Hawks -7.5. I'm going Rockets and Spurs over 220.5. I have Jazz and Mavs over 234. I have a parlay in that game. Mavs over 122.5 and Jazz under 109.5. And then Blazers +12.5. I'm following some of the guys that I really tail and respect on Action Network on a lot of those plays. So you can check me out on that Action app if you want to see what else I'm playing as the night goes on. Speaking of action, Better Edge is the best place to do that. We have a competition going on today. It's only $5 to join. Get yourself in that competition. $5, make 10 picks. Anything spread or total in tonight's action. NHL, NBA, NFL, MLB. And so this is what I'm doing in that one. I'm going to go through my 10 picks. Obviously picking elsewhere. It is a podium competition, so the top 3 will make money. Here are my picks very quick. Florida Panthers -1.5 against the Buffalo Sabres. Orlando Magic under 224.5. Pacers and Magic in that one. I am going to go with the Pistons +8. The whole statue ceremony thing, and after what I saw the last Heat home game, I'm just going to fade and just, what happens when we have ceremonies. Winless Pistons coming to Miami. What's the worst that can happen? I think Jalen Duren's going to tear us up because we don't rebound very well. Atlanta Hawks -7.5 is my other one in the NBA. Rockets over 220 in that Spurs game I mentioned earlier. Memphis Grizzlies -7.5. I got the Giants +6. I got the under in that game. Steelers and Giants under 36.5. Jazz over 233.5 in a game against the Dallas Mavericks. And then my last one is the Portland Trailblazers plus 12.5. Some of those were mentioned earlier. Some of those are a little bit different in the lines in the Better Edge competition. Make sure you jump in that. It's $5, fun event for the Sport Equinox. Check out Prize Picks. Check out Better Edge. Use the code 5 on Prize Picks. Use the code 5RSN on Better Edge. Thank you for tuning in. We'll have content all this week. Tomorrow night, we have Setting the Edge, week 9. Everybody did pretty well this week, 3-2 or 4-1, I believe, for the 5 guys that do that show each week. Thanks for tuning in, and good luck tonight.